Great evening, everyone. Welcome. It's your girl Ancelena Versatility, boy, the versatile one, the channel where you get a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Guys, it's another Tuesday evening of our Let's Talk discussion. And this evening, we are looking at family, the cornerstone of society. So, guess what? Invite a friend, come on over, and let us have a great night of being informed and having discussion and just interacting right here. All right, guys. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all over here. I'm going to go ahead and share out this live. Hi there. Welcome. Okay, guys, let me say welcome once again. Our presenter is on and she is ready to go. However, I am going to see if I can give some more persons a little more time to join us and then we will get this show on the road. As you come on in, guys, you can just say hi so I can recognize you. All right? Happy to have you. Hi, Cav. Welcome. Living with Cav. Welcome over here, my dear. Happy to have you. Okay, okay, okay. Where is everybody this evening? So, Cav, how was your day? If you don't mind me asking, just to chit chat a little until some other persons join so we can start this evening's session. Israel is gone. Seems she's. I hope she's not having internet issues. This internet sometimes really have a mind of its own. Oh, wow. Sorry to hear that, my dear. How are you feeling? I had the flu a few weeks ago, and let me tell you, it was not well. You saw my video, right? Nothing nice. Nothing nice. I don't wish it on anybody, not even my enemy right now. Trust me. Was nothing nice at all. Yes, my dear. So I guess depending on how you're feeling, maybe you'll have to go to the doctor, get some meds, ease the pain. That's what I'm wondering too. Where is everybody? My presenter is gone. I'm waiting on her to come back. Soon as she comes back and she is ready, I am going to let her go ahead. I assume others will join later. So make sure to take the name of Jesus into child of sorrow. It will joy and comfort thee. Yeah, indeed. Take it away, Jesus' name. Mhm. Hi, Brit. Welcome. Happy to have you. All right, guys. So our presenter is on, Mrs. Ezrian Bailey Anderson. I will allow her to introduce herself when she is ready to go and present. You can indicate Mrs. Anderson. Persons are taking their time scrolling in. Wanted to have some more persons on before we start, but I don't really know the length or the duration of your presentation, so I don't really want to keep you waiting for too long, or if you have other occasion after, so I don't want to keep you too long this evening. So just let me know when you are ready to begin. Welcome, Sash Bear. All right, guys. So while we give our presenter some time to prepare herself, I want to ask the question. I don't know if any one of you have seen the video with the teacher and the young man fighting in the classroom, the incident between the teacher and the young man, Tivoli Gardens High School. Anybody? Have you seen it? I think by now it's all over social media. Welcome, Mrs. Banner. Yes, you have seen it, Cav. You have seen it as well, Ezrian, but you're texting in the private. So, all right. But what is your opinion on it, Cavanese? Because sometimes you look at these things and because I am a teacher, sometimes people will say, look on it bias or something to that effect. So I would like to hear your opinion. If you wish to share, that is, it is something public, so I don't think there is an issue if we discuss it. I have also seen a text message that is said that it's coming from, I guess, the teacher based on how it is written. Also, I saw on social media, Instagram, I believe that the principal, because of the incident, the principal fainted and he is also hospitalized right now. So I guess this, and the boy was, I think the boy was charged for assault as well. So if anybody would like to share their opinion, you may go ahead as it relates to that incident. Right, he was on suspension, and he was on suspension from, I think, May. Right, and he should have returned to school June 6th. Yeah, crazy world we are living in. Yes. Kaveh saying definitely a sad and unfortunate situation. Yes, indeed, it is a very sad and unfortunate situation, especially to be seen all over social. I don't know what is happening with Ezrian, but she's gone again. Presenter will be back shortly. I don't know what is happening in our schools, but I don't know. Honestly, we see teacher dying, sudden death. Some probably they were ailing for some times, or they even know that they were sick or whatever. I don't know the cause of death, but there's so much going on in the classroom right now. I am at the primary level right now, and there is so much that is going on these days in school. So you can just imagine it to start from down there to up the big ones. Imagine you are coming to my class come sell ganja, and not only that you are coming to come sell ganja, but you are this is what I am hearing. I don't know if it's factual, but based on what I see and read, and then you pull me decks them in my classroom for us because we didn't see the entire video, so we don't know exactly what transpired, what caused the teacher to react to the way she reacted. Okay, all right, so we don't know exactly, but something, yeah, man. 56-year-old teacher, 56-year-old senior teacher, big woman you're dealing with like that. Come on, the respect level, the morals really gone, really, really gone. So this evening, really, well, that video too really lent itself for this discussion, this presentation this evening. Family, the cornerstone of society. All right, so our presenter said that she is ready whenever I am. Let me read the final comments. No respect anymore, none at all. They don't respect the teachers in the classroom. You be there and they're carrying on just the same as if you are absent. They don't really care. He said the student was out of line to even think of having an altercation, indeed, with the teacher. And he was in the wrong. You're disrupting the ladies' class when it is teaching and learning time. I am not even gonna go into that because when I get to talk about these things, I get very passionate because I don't stand foolishness, I don't keep up with foolishness. Get very passionate about this thing, especially when I have first-hand experience and I know exactly what is going on. Yes, man. So I am going to hand over now to our presenter, Mrs. Ezrian Bailey Anderson. I will also allow her to do an official introduction of herself. Welcome, Mrs. Bailey Anderson. Over to you.
Good evening, Mrs. Boyd. Good evening to our listeners online tonight. Ancelena, watching you, Mrs. Boyd, and I seeing the facial expression when you're speaking about the
Yes,
incident.
fine.
Oh my.
It's a terrible
The only thing
situation.
I said when I saw it, I said, boy, when I was going to do my degree, that's why I didn't look that side, because I can't manage. I can't manage. Mm-mm.
Yes, yeah.
I have children, I have kids going to school too, but what I said at that time, I can't manage these demons going to school now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
And we have some of that. It's just the fact. It's just the fact.
It's just a fact.
Sad. It's sad.
Sad. But what we can do is pray. All
Mm-hmm.
right, so good evening again. I am Mrs. Ezrian Anderson, and the task was given to me by Mrs. Boyd to present an honor. She's joined me into sociology tonight to present on the topic family, the cornerstone of society. Right. So before I begin my presentation, I want to want us to first understand what is a family and also what is society.
Very good.
I am the first thing that came to my mind when I was thinking of what is family is what we all learn in social studies class when we're growing up, and we can regurgitate by now. A family is a group of people living together, related by blood, marriage, or adoption. I went ahead
Right.
and I look at other. I went ahead and I look at other sources. A family is a basic social unit consisting of parents and children considered as a group. Social unit consisting of one or more adults together with children they care for. What is society? And what do we consider as society? This is a community of people in a particular country or region and having shared customs, laws, and organizations. So that is what a society is. And as our topic will be based on tonight, we'll be looking at family, the cornerstone of society. Now, the role of family in the life of an individual and society family, as we all know, is the groundstone of everyone's life. Our behavior will also be similar to the behavior of our parents and close family members. We emulate what we see. The saying is true that children live what they learn. Learning starts from within the family, right? When there is a good example, children have more possibilities to grow into mentally healthy, good mannered adults who obey the law and respect other people's rights without any pressure on themselves. But unfortunately, it's not the usual way of children growing up nowadays. The family has always been the cornerstone of a society. But you know, over time, things have evolved and things have changed because might have heard of the elderly people talking about when they were small, they could be flogged and beaten by any member of the community. No, you can't even talk too hard to some parents' children. You can't
Mm-mm.
even look at them too hard
Mm-mm.
in today's society. So we see where the problems are now coming out from because the family, the background of the family is deteriorating. It is evolving into something that it calls for a concern, right?
Right.
The same idea is exercised in the way that families are cured and brought up. Traditions like religion, holidays, birthdays are well celebrated and passed down from one generation to the other. It is often joked about that the apple does not fall far from the tree, in the same sense that children are in some ways they mirror their parents or guardians who have raised them. Human interaction is a foundation for character development. In families, if a father and mother is heavily into reading, this may rub off on their offspring in a positive light.
Mm-hmm.
In a more negative sense, a father could be a gambler and the child with no other role model could pick up on these habits later on in their lives. This theoretical approach is called the symbolic interaction that applies behaviors and attitudes to the development of a person or society. This approach is significant in the impression that the flow of human interaction is vital in building mentorship amongst a person and surrounding ideals and morals. So we are seeing where whether negative or positive attitudes displayed in the homes, in the family, it will affect the children that we
Yeah.
raise. Family is the cornerstone of society. There are many factors that affect how a family will operate. Whether it is a lack of participation in the family, uncontrollable marriage laws, or unhealthy traditions, each disadvantage will affect how this family strives for a comfortable living. In a family or in the family, we learn our lessons of God, and man, love and discipline, rights, responsibilities. So you start to learn about responsibilities. Mommy or daddy give you a little chore. You are supposed to take out the trash. You are supposed to empty the bin. You are supposed to do the dishes after breakfast. You learn responsibilities. That's where you
Yes.
start to learn responsibility from in the home. So that's where you're molded, right? And then you go to society, you go on into society now, whether it is school or job, which is come later on in life, you assume other responsibilities, or whether it is church, right? But the family, all the responsibility, you learn about your rights, you learn to be disciplined in the family, and also, most of all, that is where you get the first love from in the family. So family
Yes.
is the cornerstone of society, right?
Society.
Our families give us daily
Indeed.
examples of these lessons being put into practice in raising and instructing our children, in providing personal and compassionate care for the elderly. So if we then respect our elders and it is instilled in our children, you know, it affects society, whether in a negative or positive way, because if we don't treat them to be respectful to elders, and if they don't see us doing it, it could rub off on them in a negative way, and then it rubs off on society on a whole. Because as we would have
But as
discussed
you
earlier,
mentioned that presenter, let me just interject right there a little bit. You said if the children they see their parent or their guardian, whomever, showing respect to the elderly, they should likewise, it's gonna rub off on them. And they in turn too will show respect to them. However, if they don't see us showing respect to them, they too won't. But in our present society today, I see where our young people they have no regard for the elderly, and I don't think it's just because oh mommy and daddy don't have auntie and uncle or whomever is responsible for them growing them up. It's not because they don't have, it's just because this generation is just totally different.
right, remember I said that things are evolving,
Right.
families are
Like
changing
Mr.
too.
Viral said, respect gone from our midst.
And then the thing about it too, Sister Boyd, we have a lot of children
Mhm.
having children. And we don't know because we can only assume we don't live with them. And sometimes we see persons and they act respectful, parents, they act respectful when they come out on the road,
Yes.
but you don't know what is taking place in the home.
In the
And
home. That
sometimes,
is true.
sometimes it, sometimes too, they can be well trained and well mannered at home, but when they go out to the wider society, school,
Yeah.
there is peer pressure there. You have good peer
Peer
pressure and bad peer
influence.
pressure, so they
Yes.
might
Yes.
heed
That
to
is
peer
true.
pressure. So
That
they
is
might
true.
be well trained, but school might affect them too because after family, the immediate family, then there comes school because after a child leaves home, they normally leaves home like three thereabout to go to
You're right.
daycare or to go to
School
school.
plus. Mm-hmm.
Right. So after family being the cornerstone, you know that it is the school
The other
where they would
influence,
be.
school and
Right, that
church.
has a major influence on their lives as well. All
That's true.
right. The operation of a family will always be a reflection of the ideals and structures they carry in this already made up world. Whether these functions be socially conflicting, gender or race, encompassing or true social interaction they encounter. Like a onion. A family has layers just like an onion. These layers consist of emotional and physical needs that every member of a family desires. So every member of a family have this need. They want to be loved. They want to be cared for. They need attention, right? So because of that, now they want to feel this warmth. They want to feel safe. They want to be fed. They want to feel a sense of belonging. Self-esteem is very important and self-need to be
Yes.
possible to reach, right? Humans are set to achieve things in order to set things in order that cannot be advanced until one layer is met. to achieve the abundances of the next layer. So, like an onion, there's different layers, different needs that an individual of a family needs to be tend to. Much like a family, obstacles must overcome together, right? So, as a family, it is a unit, right? So, we, as a, for our family to work and as for it to affect or to have a positive impact on society,
Mm-hmm.
each individual of the family have to work together to reach the common goals, to reach that most comfortable state of living. This
Right.
then separates the traditional family into individual but cooperating parts. So a family is made up of individuals, but the cooperation is very important, right? So
Yes.
as the father provides economical stability, the mother and children can provide a sense of emotional security for him and vice versa. This is significant because it highlights one of the most important theories in sociology, the theory that this society has a complex system whose parts work together to promote stability. Without the cooperation of each individual in the family, all right, say the father, God forbid, say the father dies in a car accident. The children and the mother then set into economic and emotional turmoil, right? Say, for instance, the mother never used to work. This
Mm-hmm.
event could perhaps provide an abundance of stresses on the mother, and she is now, because she is now going to become the leading source of monetary needs. This could result in less financial support to the heads in the household, and enjoyable life may be harder to achieve. The structural approach on a family and its ability to successfully function can also be mirrored to the systems in government, businesses, and sports teams. Without all the parts cooperating, a business can fail, a government can go tyrannical, and a sport team may lose. Though
Right.
inactivity of work is a family, in a family can call for a disharmonious relations. Other components such as gender and race conflicts from society can also affect a family's social income or political gains as well. So a lot of factors that come into play that affect a family. Did you ever hear the saying, um, don't don't you know you don't know what you have until you lose it? How never know the
Mm-hmm.
use
All it.
until it's shut off,
Mm-hmm.
right? So sometimes we have our families. Sometimes we tend to take them for granted, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there comes a time when you don't hear from them for a very long time. They pass off, right?
Yes.
And that is when it really sinks in what the person really would have meant to you, right? So learn to appreciate each family member. Each family member is important, right? After all, a family that communicate, a family that cooperates, is a family that would more likely to have a positive impact on society,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we are to always
Strong.
be mindful of that because our parents, our family that we have around us, they provide us with a sense of belonging,
Mm.
right? So when
Yes.
you're growing up as a toddler, our parents, they provide us with the sense of right and wrong, and even our older siblings, because if you have older siblings in the home, they are going to play a part in your upbringing as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? So as a toddler, they will teach us like safety and security. As
Right.
you know, as you get older, you start go to school, they teach us to respect others, and it's not only positives come from the households, you know. There are also negatives that come from the household. Because like I said before, if you're not respectful as a parent, as a sibling, older sibling, then that is going to rub off on the child. So if you teach your child to be independent, your child will learn to be independent. If you don't teach them, Miss Boy, I love to use this word to say that you must learn to be self-sufficient. What's the word, Sister Ancelina?
Self-sufficient.
Right. You must learn to be self-sufficient. Right. So as your children grow older, the families should teach them that to be self-sufficient. The kind of person we become is a result of the values we were given throughout the years.
Right.
Right? So one person advice, Reem's advice, came from a parent and came for our parent and siblings. Don't sit too close to the TV. Our parents and our siblings will tell us that when we are growing up. Eat your
Yeah.
vegetables, stuff like that. Don't drive too fast. They're teaching us responsibility, how to be responsible for even our own lives and the
Right.
lives of others because we might be driving and driving with other people. These are some of the examples that come to mind. At times they probably felt like the advice was not good and our family were trying to ruin our fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
But these are the things that will make us better men and women of tomorrow and that we can contribute to society in a positive way,
Positively.
right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Especially when you see the children reach that stage that they call teenager, that teenage stage. It is a
Oh
total
Lord.
war zone in the household, right?
Mm-hmm.
At that time, they feel not might they feel like they have the answers to every single thing, and you don't have a clue as a parent or as an older sibling, but they have the answer to everything. And whenever they might can't get their way, they're gonna say, "Oh, nobody understands them." Right? These are some of the things that will come out. But as parents, we have to put our foot down. I often hear the saying that says it's best for them to hate you now and love you later, right?
Yes.
Because they might not understand now. So when you are faced with a problem and you think, when you grow older now, because remember this is the child lives what they learn. All right. When you get older. So these are some of the things, Family is the cornerstone of society, right? Say for instance now Mrs. Boyd have a problem. Her daughter Alina. Alina is a teenager now. And she found out that she had an issue with Alina. She
Mm-hmm.
can go back and she might say, "Oh, I remember mommy had this issue. Mommy Grace had this issue with me one time or with her other sibling, Keisha, one time. And this
Right.
was what mommy did to rectify the situation." So when you
Mm-hmm.
find yourself in situation, you might say, "Oh, this is what my mommy did to solve the problem. This is what my father did. This is what my elder brother did to solve the problem, or my older sister did to solve the problem. So let me try this and see if it would work." Family is the corner. Where did she learn that from? She learned that from the family. So these are some of the things that it goes with you when you leave home and you go out to form your own families, right? Some of the things that you would have gone through living in your own family when you were a child, it follows you, right? So these are some of the things that would shape our roots. So or we go back to grassroots as we call it. So our roots shape our personality and to some extent determine what we will do in our life. Sometimes we find that life is not all sunshine and happiness. There will be times when we are faced with obstacles, challenges, and even failures. These are the times when we need our family the most. Our family is supposed to form a safety net when one of its members is falling, right? Because it's either you're going to call on your family when you're going through a rough time, or you're going to call on your closest friend, right? It is just that there to shine brightly when everything is going perfectly, right? Family members will have problems from time to time. Mom, dad, brothers, aunts, and uncles. Mom and dad in argument, brothers and brothers in argument, uncle and aunt will have problem from time to time. But join on the love and support and strength of the family can help us weather even the toughest of storms. For instance, Think of a young teenage girl who gets pregnant. She's still in high school, has no money, and probably not emotionally ready to become a parent. What will she do? And whom will she turn to? If she has a loving, caring family, they will provide the needed support. What about times when we find ourselves in financial hardships? Everyone knows that post-secondary education is very expensive. When,
Mm-hmm.
say for instance, you finish high school, you're going to college and university and all of that. It worse if you decide that you're going to study for a master's.
Yes.
You're going to move on to get a PhD, right? Even more so, if you don't have the money, or if you don't have to move away from your home, probably one of the most trying times is the loss of a loved one.
Yes.
Whatever the case may be, the bottom line is that your family will be there for you
Support.
unconditionally when all else fails, right? Because you go out there and you go to try life, and life no work out the way that you had planned for it to work out. Mommy might say the door is always open. You can always come back home. Daddy might
Mm-hmm.
say the door is always open. You can always come back home. You meet up on rough time. You went out there because sometimes it's not as we try life, it work out. You went out, your parent, and it not working out for you. Or you say, okay, this room, mommy said that, okay, I see that you're struggling here an hard time. This room is
Mm-hmm.
here. You can come
Right.
here. Or I'll help you to pay rent. You understand?
Yes.
These things prevent you from stressing, right? And going into depression. Like we said again, family is the cornerstone of
Yes.
society. So when you become depressed, it affects society, because it affects your job. It affects how
Mm-hmm.
you interact with others. It affects how you interact with your family. It affects how you interact with your children, right? So when
Yes.
your family can chip in and say, okay, let me help you balance, let me help you do this, let me help you do that. Even when you go to you get pregnant and you went into to child labor and you went into labor and you have your child, most of the time we see mothers coming around to help daughters when they just have their baby. We see
Mm-hmm.
sisters coming around, we see friends, not friends, close friends, cousins coming around, right, to help them to get past that time, right, helping them to cope. Because sometimes when mothers have children, they go into something that is called postpartum depression, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes family members are there to help them out where this is concerned. So it depends on the type of family that you have. But for most people, family share the highlights of their lives as much as the down part of their life. Their family is there. Sometimes your families can be annoying, sometimes you can't stand them this minute, but deep down you know that you love your family because they are your strong support, right?
Yes.
They are there to watch you become academically successful, right? To get your degree, get your masters, they are there for you, right? When you want to go out, say for instance you're going out for a night with your spouse, you want some alone time, you can always take the kids back to your sister, you
Mommy
can
and
take it
daddy.
to your right, mommy and daddy. So the family is the cornerstone of society. Instead of you going to have to pay a babysitter, right?
Yes.
And that is added expense and probably stretch your budget way too thin. So family
Mm-hmm.
helps where that is concerned. Family is a true gift, most likely the best one we will ever receive. Even though we will have busy schedules, we should appreciate the ones closest to us. And I also want to add that that the negatives that you find in a family, it can either make a person or break a person, right? All right, let me give you some examples. All right, so your father drinks a lot. Daddy comes in, daddy beats up mommy.
Hmm.
right? You growing up as a male child, right? This is a negative. This can either make you or break you,
You.
right?
Yes.
Because you can say, I am not going to do this to a woman like my daddy. I will never be like my father. I will
Right.
never do this to a woman because I see the pain, I see the suffering that it caused my mother. As well
Right.
as you can just adapt the same dirty principles and
Principle.
behavior, right? You can see your mother changing a lot of spouse and having several children, and you can just fall in the same boat. You come and you just have several partners as well, and be promiscuous just like mommy and have several children. Or you can tell yourself, me, I will never let that happen to me. I'll
Right.
never have so many children and can't take care of them.
So it's how
Right?
you view the situation.
Right. It's how you view the situation. So the negatives of a family can either make a person or break a person. What I also want to highlight, um, I want to raise my glass to all the single mothers, but I must emphasize that the male is very important
Mm-hmm.
in, yes, the male is very, very important, right? In a family, right? A man it a woman can never do what a man do. No matter how
It's true.
you hear a person say that I was the mother and I was the father for that child. All right. And I'm not going to go stretch my statistics. This is my personal statistics. I'm not going to stretch it too far out. When I do my analysis and I look around and I see most of the young men that have fallen victim to murder or they themselves are gunmen, most
Mm-hmm.
of them, and I'm talking about in my immediate surrounding,
Yes.
most of them are from single parent households.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them. You check it and see how many of these men that in our immediate vicinity, in our immediate community, how many of them that died are murdered, that were murdered, that not just murdered, because persons get robbed and they are murdered. I'm talking about persons that were involved in illegal activities and die as a result of reprisal, killings and all of that, are persons that are now being sought by the police or persons that are a person of interest. Just check it out and you see most of them are from single parent household. And when I say single parent household, 99% of the time it is the mother present, right? So a father figure is very important to have inside of a household. I know mothers do their
Yes.
best, and
Yes.
I know mothers bend their backs, and I know
I
that
believe
mothers will
this
walk.
strongly.
Yes, and I know that mothers will walk like how Jesus walked with the cross 90 and 2 miles. I know that mothers will even walk 90 and 3 miles. But the fact
Yes.
remains, the fathers are important, right?
Important. Amen.
Fathers are important also to shape the future men of tomorrow. And
Yes.
I am not trying to stereotype nor anything, but if you probably even check all the young man that was in the interaction with the teacher, probably is from a single parent household. Who to tell? Because most of the time it is so. It is
Mm-hmm.
so. Because
Yeah.
some of the time they don't have any that strong personality in the home that to instill discipline. You understand?
And maybe that is absent also, because single parent. So single parent, Mrs. Anderson, we know that single parent can be the father and the child or the mother and the child. So sometimes it's
Right.
mostly the mother and the child. So when the father is absent in a household, especially when there is a boy in that household,
Exactly.
yes, man, it really affect them. And also he was selling ganja, so we can say that probably mommy is trying to assist mommy too to come
Right.
to
With
school,
the
probably to
bills.
go to the city with the bills. Yes.
And probably he doesn't have the financial support either. And he was
Right.
thinking of how he could make money to finance himself, right? And in
And
doing so, he's thinking of something
correct.
that will go faster. Actively they so and ganja will sell.
Right. And I'm saying
So
in that area too, we have a lot of students going to school and they're living on their own, you know. We best believe that, you know, in
living on
society,
their own.
living
Right.
on their own, sending themselves to school.
And a lot of young girls, they are leaving their spouse's house to go to
Mm,
school.
yes.
Yeah, they are living with their spouse and they are going to school. And they left
Hmm.
mommy house long time, or daddy house. They left their parents' house long time. And they are living
Right.
with their spouse and going to school. It is the sad reality of our society today. Our
Today.
society is not the same as it was back in the 17th century or the 18th century, not even in the 19th century. Things have
Yeah.
changed. The only thing that is constant in life is change, and we are seeing that where change is taking place. And I know that would have hoped for change to take place in a positive way,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the family, it starts with the family, as we see coming out in this presentation tonight. The family is the cornerstone of society. So
Yes.
whatever children start learning from in the home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe what the Bible says. I know that sometimes persons eat to peer pressure, right? But if we should do our research, our background research, I don't think most of these children that are misbehaving is because of peer pressure. I think it is more due to the family structure. I know that peer pressure plays a part too, but I believe that what they have learned from the home as well, right? Because when you go to the school, I remember going to my daughter's school back then, and the principal was speaking about the different challenges that he was experiencing. And what he says was causing one of the challenges for him. He was saying that because you are dealing with children from different households, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
the different characteristics that are coming out from the children of the different
Mm-hmm.
household. It was very difficult. I remember I went to check on Angelicia progress in school. I think it was about 2 months ago. It's not more than 2 months ago. I went up to the school, and when I went up to the school, an entire grade 6 class was suspended.
My God.
An entire grade 6 class was suspended. And I was talking to the principal, Mr. Blake, and he was asking me if I know what I don't remember the word right now, honestly. But he was asking me if I know what that word mean. And I told him no, I don't know what the word mean. And he was saying that he was learning for the first time that it is the deepest part of oral sex.
Lord Jesus.
And he's the grade 6 student he learned that
Really?
from. His grade 6 students he learned that from. He said
Where
he
you
had
have
no.
11 years and 12 years.
And what he was saying that the children are at home for however long. I don't remember the time that he said, whether it was 1 year, 2 year, but
Mm.
he made mention of the time, but I don't remember. And he was
Yes.
saying to me, before COVID, none of that problem was in school. The children went home and they were at home for this entire time. The
Mm.
children came back and it is
Exploring.
pornography. It is all sort of sexual expletive and what is taking place in the classroom. And that was why the entire grade 6 was suspended. Be a big man and big woman go back to school. And Mr. Blake was saying, it has to take place in the home. They did not learn that at school because they were not even in school for that time.
Mm.
And when they were in school, they weren't behaving like that, but they went out for a period of time. They came back and it was a disgrace.
Yeah,
He was
because
saying that
sometimes because of the COVID and they had to go home. Mommy and daddy had to go to work and some of them they don't have any supervision. So they lack parental supervision. So they were there exploring because now remember online time, so everybody have to depend on device. So everybody gets a device now and they are exploring what is going on online. So they are exposed.
they are I believe that is true, Sister Boyd, Miss Boyd. But I believe that there are things that we can do to assist with that too. Because for instance for me. I am not as techie savvy as how my children would be, Alicia and Pinky. Pinky even
Yes.
know about phone more than me. So I am not techie savvy as them. I don't know how to put on parental control on the phone. I don't know how to do all of those things. But one thing I do know is that if I put the same Gmail in Pinky's device and the same Gmail in mine, whatever
Yes.
she does on her phone, I will see it. So I
Right.
ensure that I did not give her a Gmail for herself. So
Okay. Mm-hmm.
wherever I am, I can just go and check to see what Pinky is doing on her phone because everything come up on my phone because it is the same Google account, right? So wherever
Yes.
I am, I can watch. But it is so sad that the children take this opportunity to go, not to study, they don't use the internet to study.
They
They
use it to
don't use it to
explore
study.
other things. All right,
They use the internet to
just to break
become
you a
Zora.
little bit, my presenter, to read some of the comments here. So, Sister Marla was saying that some children, I guess it was from your past discussion, some children have, let me go back up, sorry. Some children have problems and they decide to retaliate. So it's not because they are not loved, so it's not because they're not being shown love at home. It is just the negative way of lashing out. It's just the way that they choose to handle the situation. Mr. Banner was here concurring with you. We were saying that true words, Mrs. Bailey Anderson. Sash Blair is saying it was there as what you were talking about just now, exploring the different platform and being exposed. It was there. It was there for years, but they were not doing as much. So the teachers and the principals are learning more due to the pandemic. So she's basically saying that yes, they were exposed, or they were watching and involved in these things already, but it's because of the pandemic now that the teachers and the principals are becoming aware of these things. Your mic is muted.
I dropped off line for a few seconds. I did not hear Sister Mariel comment nor any other comments.
Okay. So Sister Marilyn was saying some children have problems and they decide to retaliate. So it's not because they are not loved, not because they're not being shown love at home, but it's because it's just the negative way that they choose to lashing out. Mr. Bonner was saying true words, Mrs. Anderson. Sash Blair said it was there for years, but they were not doing as much as it relates to what you were talking about with the grade 6 student. So teachers and the principals are learning more due to the pandemic.
Okay. And Sister Mariel is so right because remember we're talking about the teenagers.
Here's another comment.
Teenagers can be very rebellious, but that's natural for them. It is the stage where it happens, and we have to know how to deal with that and how to deal with them. Some teenagers can be a nightmare when they reach that stage. It not just takes us for real. It takes prayer. It takes fasting when it
Mm-hmm.
reaches that stage to deal with some of them. Honestly,
Yes.
the talking alone will not do, and so forth. We have to pray. And one other person was saying that it was there for yes, they could be doing it a long time, but because you're home now, they have more access to it. Maybe if
So
they were
she's
doing it, it would be once in a while. You
right.
understand? So they are doing it more often now, watching it more often, so it become a part of them. They start to act it out.
Right. Yes. Because she's saying that the student know they take pride in all the madness, so they were quietly doing it before, and the students do not, they just don't care anymore. So she's saying also that she have dealt with young people every day, and I am telling you it is a complete disaster. Yes, my dear, it is true. We just have to be praying and hoping that all is not lost, and I don't
That
believe all is lost.
I don't believe so either.
Right.
And in closing, just remember that family is a true gift. Most likely the best one you'll ever receive, even though we are all busy. We have our schedules, as I said before, that we should appreciate our family, especially the ones that are closest to us. If you have not talked to a member of your family in a while, give them a call. Drop by and give them a visit and let them know that you're thinking of them. It could make a world of difference to their lives and yours if you reach out to them.
Yes. All right.
Just
So
remember that.
Sagittarius is also saying sometimes I am sorry for them because they lack guidance, and that is so true. That is so true. They have no guidance, no parental guidance at home. And the thing is, I was reading something today, and it spoke it spoke so much truth. I cannot remember it exactly. But as we are talking this evening and we are saying that family, the cornerstone of society, the person was pointing to the home. She was saying that in the home, certain things, it starts in the home, and if it is lacking there, you cannot expect that you're gonna send. All right, let me put it this way. I cannot quote the person word for word, but it's like she's saying that if you know that you're picking it bad and you send him out to school, don't expect a teacher go just transform that child into a good person. It's not gonna
Not
be
gonna
that
happen.
easy. It's not
You,
gonna be that easy.
you did see the little boy where tell the teacher say him have manners, I teacher and have no manners.
Yes, I saw that video also. I saw
Hmm.
it. Hmm.
I just
I saw
remember
that.
the word now that the principal asked me to. He said brain. He said, what is brain? Mr. Brains are brains where you have up on your head here, so that brain. He said, no, another thing mean to pitney them. It is the deepest part of oral intersex. I said, wow,
Yes,
I
man.
learned
They
something.
have their they have their coded word, and the thing is, the music too has a lot to do with it, because some of these words, these what they call it, the slang, out of the music them get it
Yes.
from,
Mm-hmm.
out of the songs they get it from. So it have a whole lot. All right, so there are some other comments coming in. If we have any question, anything that we want to ask our presenter, you may also type it right here in the comment section. Let me read. Jason is saying that he concur with what is being said. Sash said, I read that one. Says sometimes, yes, some of them, and this is Mrs. Turner. Some of them do get guidance, but still decide to go their own way. Some of them, they do get the guidance. They train them up good at home, but they just take the decision to do the wrong thing. And that is true. Yes. He said, from
Yeah, that
Sunday,
is
you
true.
talk to me. Okay, Mrs. Anderson. So true. Some parents want teachers to change children. Yes, that is true. Them send them come for we change them, for we transform them. But oh my God, them say you can't. What them say when the tree tall already or tree grow already, you can't bend the tree.
You can
Yes,
Benny, we broke.
can't bend it, I go broke and put me in a trouble. So guess what? The onus is on the what? The family. As we said, the family is the cornerstone, and a cornerstone is what? It forms the base. When you're building, it is the base. So if you don't have the firm foundation, what is gonna happen? It is gonna break down. It is gonna fall apart. So the family have to build a strong foundation for your children. Let me see what Mr. Boyd is saying. With the advent of social media, yes, the Facebook, the TikTok, the Instagram, realize that Zach, our children, are getting more aware of these negative things. Yes. What a wonderful presentation. Indeed, it is a great presentation. Yes, our children know, because remember that we had gone, as I mentioned earlier, to the whole online setting. So all who never have smartphone and tablet and computer got access to these things. and everybody are now exploring, and some of them are exploring the wrong things, and they are being exposed to things that they're not to be exposed to. So it's important for parents to what? As Sister Shanique said, they are lacking guidance. It is important for the parent to guide their children and to be present and to know exactly what is going on in their lives. So, Mrs. Anderson, as Mr. Boyd said, I concur with him. It was indeed a wonderful presentation, and I want to say thank you very much for taking on the task this evening to come and share with us, to edify us, inform us this evening. But before we go, I am still asking if there's any question. I have question. Earlier you mentioned in your presentation that there is a breakdown in the family. You also mentioned that children are having children because we have a lot of teenagers, even 12 years. Girls of 12 years are having children. So realize that, and that is causing a breakdown in society. I mean, basically kind of answer my question to what is causing this breakdown though in the family? In the family, what do you think is causing the breakdown in the family?
What I believe is causing the breakdown in the family. I want to say it's because children are having children now. It's just because it's becoming more prevalent because
Mm-hmm.
children are having children long time, right? But it's becoming more prevalent now that children are having children, and most times when children do have children, they don't get that emotional support from
Yes.
their parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the grandparents sometimes are upset with the child for getting pregnant. So they don't think there they don't try to help to build that bond and to try to help to raise that child in an extended family. Sometimes that female might get run out, throw them out a door. They know I have nothing to do with them. So they are so broken too, and they are so lost because they are children themselves, and they know they do get pregnant, and some of the time they get pregnant for young boys that are not ready to take on any responsibility as yet,
Right.
right? Also, they get pregnant, and whoever they get pregnant for is saying it's not theirs. So that's
Mm-hmm.
another thing too. So there's a breakdown there when they do get pregnant very early. That cause a breakdown. And I think what causes breakdown too is the lack of respect. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I heard how persons before me would have lived. There was so much respect in the community, right? It was a village that was growing children that back then. You can't do that now. Enough time I would see children doing stuff, and you want to say to their parents, but you not even know how. You not even
And
know
you're
how to
even
say it. You not even
afraid
know how to
maybe to
approach it.
approach the child too. You as the adult, you're afraid to approach the child. Come afraid,
Too, you can't talk to the child too. But
Right,
back
I am
then,
afraid.
you not even have to say nothing to the mother or the father. You catch the child, you scold the child, and when the child go and go tell
Mm,
mother, mother give her an next beating. But that not there
I'm
again.
telling. Then beat you.
That too. So
And
that is
yeah, and
where I'm
that is
saying the
a big fact.
breakdown comes in.
Yes. And I
And
think
we have I want to add to Sister Boy that we as
go
parents,
ahead.
sometimes we are supportive of some negative behaviors of our children. We know that
Mm-hmm.
our son a gunman and thief, and we support and say lie them a tell, and you know so
Yes.
your pitney bad and a gun man
Support.
yard, and when persons come tell you say a lie and where you hate me pitney fan and all type of something. So yeah, some parents just support negative behaviors too. So there's a
Yes.
breakdown there as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And parents are neglecting to their roles. I believe that is a problem too. Parents are neglecting their roles, their and
True.
their responsibility. All right, so La Teresa is saying, it said the influencers, as I mentioned earlier about the music, even the dancehall music, Let me just say this. I have posted the link for a person to join us here on the platform. If you choose to share, if you want to share your voice your opinion as it relates to the topic this evening, you may click on the link and join us also. All right. So La Teresa is saying that the influencers are more than the educators these days, because that's more of what the children look up to, and that is so true. The Vibes Cartel, the Skelly Bang, and the yes, the Movado, and yes, some of those entertainers, those are the ones that they look up to. They not listen what teachers say anymore. Not listening to what teacher is saying. Sister Meryl is saying parents will go to school and be teachers. What you
That
have to
is
say
so
about
true. So true, because Mr. Blake don't allow us to come into the school again because parents are come fight. Not only teachers, pitney too.
oh
Come beat
my
other people pitney
god.
too.
Mhm. Yes. She
So a
said
pitney lick your pitney
she
and you
wished.
never like it, you go back to school, go fight back a pitney.
Yeah, yes, that is it. That is it. So she's saying that she wish some of her days would come back. Wish some of her days would come back. As you said, back in those times, the village was raising the children. Everybody come together for the good of the child, the upbringing of the child. Nowadays, sometimes people will see picking here do something and they not even a stop and look on them. They go about them business because they know the result of them stopping to say something to them. And Shanique is agreeing that yes, yes, the parent indeed will go to school and fight the teachers, be the teachers. Yes, Sister Mariel, you are on. You want to share? You may go ahead.
Oh, good evening again.
Good evening.
I agree with everything that Sister Alice said. I was saying to
Yes.
her, son, talk to me about her family. So she needs to talk to me because she said we must talk to her family. Uh, 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 uh. So she needs to talk to me.
Oh
Right.
God.
Yeah, when I sit and listen, even traveling on the road, they sometimes if it's not the uniform, you don't know that they're school children. They are being disrespectful. So even the passing, even the if it's not the uniform, you don't know who is the conductor or the
Yes.
passengers. Because the word I was in Mapen one day last week and I get the fright of my life. A little girl, not no fourth farm, fifth farm, a little girl in her uniform. And when the word, my back was turned. And
Mm.
when the word will come out her mouth, me jump and look on her.
Yes.
I always say children have three sides. The one that mommy see,
Mm-hmm.
the one that the teacher see, and the one that is on the road. Mommy have a very nice daughter or a very nice son until it reach a point.
Yes.
Because sometime the street side come in based on what happen outside.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what happen in Maypen or outer east, it come in the house. And you will see you have to be vigilant. You see the signs. And that time you will know that something is not right. Some of them on a different side. Mother and father know and then just leave it as they are grown man. I saw me did stay when a little bit. When you were small, it was a different time.
Time you have to knit it in the bud.
You cannot wait and said, them will grow it out. No. You did great out because a village was there for you.
Yes.
No, no village, nothing, no way. Teachers can't manage the citizens of the community. Let's pick the man here. Let's say, I just a thing and you know, you
Yes.
is your child, is your child. You have to reach a point. You have to do something. Parents have to be vigilant because look here.
Yes.
Even if you teach, give the child all of the love and then go out the road and misbehave, it's gonna come back and you're gonna hear say, a bad breed pitney man, him mother and him father never teach him nothing. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
come in the home. So you have to
Yes.
try everything in your power to yeah, sit down and listen to a lot of interviews, a lot of young men that come up in society, and they will tell you, you hear them say them did bad and then this and, but there's a but there. Something
Yes.
happen.
Intervention.
Somebody sit them, somebody intervene and sit down that person and say, because I am your mother, you know, must listen to me.
Yes.
But mommy can't ask Sister Brown to talk to you and you listen to Sister
Right.
Brown or Mrs.
Cornerstone. Get
Brown
help.
or the
Recognize
police
that
or
your child or your children need help and get help.
yeah, you have to get help. When I was growing up, I was afraid of police and we used to respect police.
Right.
You see a policeman come in your community, everybody was being respectful. No,
Yes.
all of that respect gone through the window because the police them by themselves, some of them. So you can't really, but there must be one person in society that can talk to that person. Talk to your child. You have to do everything in your power, Sister Ancelina, to get the child where you and God will approve. You can't just let him run like goat. That's my little piece. Because it's your child. And whether good or bad, it's still your child. And if the child, if it's a girl and him looking to and get pregnant, me personally, me, Sherry, sit down here, me not agree for you to throw him out. Christian or no Christian. Because if the child is in your house, you can see that the child is eating properly or taking care of himself. When you throw him out there, yeah, send if you go live with man, man, no want the pitney, me man, you just stand up in pitney.
Yes.
So, tell me, say me, I'm not Christian, I don't care. But it's my child.
Yes.
Accident do happen. You don't know if he's not the only child the person I go have. Because some people only blessed with one child.
Yeah, yeah, see me, one we blessed with.
Some people only blessed with. I know of a radio personality, a rape. She was raped and she have one son. And until she old now, she can't have no more again.
Yes.
One
Uh,
child. Rape. She was raped. So you have to just know the importance of a family and the upkeep of
so
your children.
the importance. So each so this is it, this is it. The household, each household, you just have to recognize your responsibility and the
Yes.
great responsibility that you have to society.
And sister boy, what you do in your household, I can copy
No,
it.
no, to each its own. What works for you don't necessarily work for me and my children. So I have to know, I have to employ my own tactics, my own techniques that I am going to use to raise up my children, because I want them to have what? A positive impact on society. I want them to contribute positively
Certainly.
to society. And we see that society is really, really breaking down. Let me just read a comment here from Mr. Boyd. He said, "You can talk to my child about her conduct. Yes, I have no problem with that. But I would not condone my child being beaten by a community member. Not in this day and age. I would not
No.
I would not appreciate that. I would not appreciate that. But my child must be mannerably enough that any and every adult can approach her and talk to her, discipline her with words, not
And
physically.
as adults, that means you're older. You must know the way to talk to a person.
Right. Yes. That's
Whether
it.
the child is rude or the child is okay, you
Mm,
must find the words. You can't just, you must find the word to say, Alina, that's what you do is not right, you know. A young lady does not do so. You know, go to her and make she afraid of you.
yes.
You
Sister
have to
Mariel, this
act.
is what I do when I had Alicia growing up, right? I don't have control over how an adult will talk to her, right? So what I tell her, I say, Alicia, there are times when persons that are going to talk to you, but it is the truth. Persons are going to talk to them that they don't like. But I said, if it is that it happened that way, don't answer. Come and tell me. Let me deal with it. I don't want it to be said that you don't have any manners. So they might talk to you where they're not supposed to talk to you. Come and tell me. Just not have nothing to say. Tell me, make me deal with it. Because you really not gonna have control over what some people can tell some witnesses still.
That is true. Because someone we as
Mm-hmm.
adults, we don't have to behave, you know. And we don't have any approach. And it's just the truth. We don't have any approach. All right. So, Sash Blair is saying, I had an incident since last week with a mother and daughter. Then they went out. They went out of place. I mean, lies after lies, and the mother just back up her with it. So this is a parent condoning now or upholding with her child. She know that the child is lying. So instead of disciplining the child and letting the child know that he or she is wrong, she is condoning and covering up the child's wrongdoing. We cannot do that as parents. We cannot do that as parents. We need to let our children know when they are wrong, because guess what? In the future, it's going to come back to haunt us. You ever
So
hear this
true.
thing where them say, what do we always hear? There's some people say they're gonna bite off your ears
Mm-hmm.
when you
Mm-hmm.
continue not disciplining the child, and you're always picking up for the child, condoning the child bad behavior, negative behavior, them always said it go bite off your ears. That simple means say it go what? To come back to haunt you in the future. We need to just step up, be the parent, discipline our children, and set foundation for our children. And also, as parents, we need to model in our household the type of life that we want our children to exemplify. The type of, we have to just model it for them. So
Yeah,
we
yeah,
cannot
yeah.
do this and we are doing that. That doesn't make sense. And I believe our presenter, she mentioned that also.
Yes,
So
yes.
Taniki said that she even reported it, and all the letters she sent came right back to me. Yes, it will haunt them. Yeah, man, it's gonna haunt you. It's gonna haunt you as the parent. So you have to do right by your kids. We're not raising gunmen and gun women. We're not raising thieves. That's not what we want to raise up in society. We want to raise nation builders, persons who are contributing positively to the development of our society. That is what we want from our children. All
Sister
right.
boy,
Yes, go ahead.
you cannot teach a child not to tell lie. But when child is at when daddy come in and there is like that, they come up
Yes,
with a lie, and the child is there, and at the same time you are saying to the child, when
yeah,
the child hear that no,
yes.
that's a double standard, you know.
Right. That's why I'm
Yeah,
because
saying
we
so
model,
true.
model.
we
Mm-hmm.
may say I know nothing, but
That is
when the
so
child
true.
man sit down by himself or herself, come back because if the child brain stay like my one any at all, it will come back and say, "No, wait, mommy, no, just tell daddy one lie a while ago."
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So true. And Sister Myrtle, I hear you mention something about the child that have three sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. While you were there talking, I remember my little brother, the tall one. Most of you know him. He was baptized in church. You know that his sides had a twist to it because my little brother horrible yard, man. It's terrible, I remember one year when he was attending VRTech, my mother was going for his report, and my mother not Christian them time then, and my mother pray before she go, to my brother terribly yard. And when my mother come back, my mother say, I can't believe that the same pitney teacher talk about. My brother behave himself at school. My brother, no teacher never have a problem with my brother. Him behave himself, his name never call, him just quiet. I right now ever see my same so he quiet like him can't talk. Him terribly say, up
But
to
that's
now.
a good boy. In Sister Mary, that's a good boy.
Maybe I say that is a
It's
twist
hope.
to it. Some
It's
pitney
hope
behave
that
good a
it's
yard
hope.
and then get trouble
It's
a
hope
road.
that
My
So
brother
if
trouble a
he,
yard.
misbehave.
so nobody can call the name on the road.
Right.
Yes,
Hope
that's
they
how
don't
him do for him thing.
misbehave.
Him get trouble a yard. My mother pray before he go for
Mm,
report.
that's how it must go. All right.
Well,
So
when I
go ahead,
was growing
Sister
up, and
Mary.
anytime teacher never give me letter to give my mom. Teacher just tell me to tell my mom to come. Me me fret till my mother reach come back from school because if teacher say Myrel never, she only 1 year never.
Mm-mm. The
Uh,
negative.
no,
Once you see the negative word
I'm
there.
not gonna get the beating at home. I write in front of teacher. So me have to make sure say when teacher call her, I know nothing bad because if teacher use the word never, me know me or dead.
Oh God.
So me try my best to be on my bed because one day me get beaten at school, me I tell you a teacher have to beg for me.
Miss
Mm-mm.
Boy, do you beat your child at school?
Would I beat my child at school? I would
Say
not want to beat my child at school.
publicly.
I would not want to beat my child publicly.
I don't think that right.
It's
No,
not right.
if
I
it's
don't
in
believe it's right, but
the office,
I am
if
not
it's in
saying that I
teacher's
will
office.
never do it. I am saying I would not want to do
Want
it.
to.
I would not want to do it because I would not want to embarrass her
Well, the good thing about my getting beaten, it wasn't publicly, it was in the office.
in the office. Okay.
So when teacher called parent and child go in the office.
Oh, so you
Yes.
can wipe off your face and come back out with a
So you
smile.
can wipe
Oh, that
off
never
your
happened.
face and come in back, but the lick still will soak your skin and you run gone.
I remember in high school at Kemsila, I had to beat my nephew at school. But I didn't beat him in the general public. I brought him inside the library and I closed the door and the windows. And I give him a nice beating inside there. Yes, I had to. Had to do it, Ezekiel.
But
I had to.
in the honor over the back.
All over him body. All over him body. I had to. That's why I am saying I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna beat Alina at school, but I would not want it to get
Want
to
to
that
do it.
point. That is why I am trying my best with this parenting thing. Without the manual, I am trying my best.
It not come with
Never
manual,
know.
darling.
Right. That's why I said without this manual thing, I am trying my best because I would not want that to
And
happen.
Selena, sometimes it have a
Trust me.
positive effect, but me not think it right still.
Yeah,
Because
but trust me, knowing me
my
how I am, if it get to the point where I have to, I will do it, man. I
it
will.
have positive effect for some people. Because I remember my
Yeah.
brother got some more ganja. Bunny ganja, my father beat him at school. And tell him say ganja I know for boy, ganja for man. My brother
Hmm.
39-year-old right now and he come like he no catch man yet, call now we no bun back ganja.
Good. Good, good. So La Teresa is saying, I tell my daughter, don't let me embarrass you because I will in front of these people. Yeah, man. Yeah, so you have to train them up. You have to tell them how it is and let them know if it come to the test, mommy will do it, or daddy will do it. So this is the acceptable behavior and this is the unacceptable behavior. And you have to just start to instill it in them from a tender age. Not say, oh, bless
Yes.
man, them a baby.
Don't wait until
They
them get.
understand. So you have to start it from early. Don't wait until it's late. My parents started from early. So in closing, before I invite our presenter to come back and just to give her final two pieces, I am going to make these points. How to build a family bonding. These are nothing new that these are things that we should know. So once we build and strengthen the bond within the family, then we can have a strong family relationship that will also have now a positive
Well,
impact on society, because
the
we know that the
family will
family
go to
is the cornerstone of society, and without a firm foundation, society is going to break down. And we see today that society is already breaking down. We have too many gunmen, gun women, we have too many thieves, we have
no for them, no for them growing
too
at church, though, you know.
yes, that is so
For them
true.
at school.
That's so true. They are coming from good homes. They're coming from good homes, but they just choose the wrong path. They just choose to make the wrong decisions. But we are going to try and get it right as a family. I don't know how, I don't know when, but we have to try. And it said
No
family
boy.
bonds are strengthened through you must have family prayer. It is said that what? The family who prays together, what? They
Stay
stay
together.
together. So family prayer is important. Call your family. Sometimes you don't have to be in a Christian home to call family to prayer, because I know of unsaved. Them pray, You have many unsaved pray, but some of we Christians, we don't pray. We don't call our children, wife and husband, daddy and mommy. Don't call our children to prayer, and that is important. It says role playing. Your home man, have a little family time. Get together, role play. Pick a script and say, all right, this is what we're gonna do tonight. Family time, a Friday night or a Saturday night or a Sunday evening, whichever day you want to do.
Me nah nobody for role play with.
Of course, yeah, better money can role play, still it. Two on
Gotta
can
get
do.
them.
And it said going to church services together. Sometimes I remember we often hear this at church. We see the parents coming out and the children they're left at home. They're not coming out to Sunday school. They're not coming out to church. Don't leave your children at home. Bring them out to church. Go to church as a family. It's a family scripture study. Study the Bible. Instill good morals. Yes, instill good morals in your children. Eating dinner together. This might sound so simple and unnecessary, but sometimes it is important. Sometimes you cannot eat dinner together every night. Because with my husband, we come home 10 o'clock and 9 o'clock and them the late hours there. Me and my poor little daughter go sit down up a bed for hungry until them the hours if we eat. But try and make it at least twice or three times out of the week to sit and have your meal together.
Without
Even
the phone, without the phone.
without the phone. Thank you very much. Without the phone, sharing some nice family time, having discussion so you're bonding with each other, going on camps together. Yes, another means of spending time together. Get away from all the noise, everything else around you. And also, as Sister Mariel just said, leave the gadgets, man. If you're having family time, it is family time. Put away phone, put away work. It's a attending each other's sports event. So this is saying be involved too in your child's life. Know what is going on. If they play sports, whether netball, football, whatever activity is it is that they partake in at school. Be involved. You might not be able to show up to every competition or every event that they're a part of, but at least be at some, because we know that the parents have to work. He said parent and child outing, go to the mall, go to the movie, whatever it is that you enjoy with your child doing, you need to do that. Fathers, go fishing with your children. Mothers, go shopping with your daughter. Go to dinner, go for ice cream. And it also says working on homework together. And I cut it there. So those are some ways that the family, are some things that the family can use to bond and to also strengthen the family unit in the home. Your final thoughts now, Mrs. Anderson. I'll hand over to you, and then we will close off for the evening if we have no more comments.
Thank you again, Mrs. Boyd. I don't think there's much to
You're very
add. I believe you have said it all. But what I also want to add to what you said is as a family we
yes.
have to learn to compromise, right?
Mm-hmm.
In everything that we do. So you're watching movie tonight. You know that daddy loves kung fu, mommy love romance, you love teen show. So this
Yes.
week one we watch, yes, we watch teen show now, and then we watch daddy movie the next time. We watch younger
Mm-hmm.
sibling movie the next time. Right? For instance,
Yes.
my husband love football, And when him there here and him a care Man City, me a care Man City too, and me a cheer or something. He go a
Yes.
foreign for 4 months and come back. When he come back and ask him about the football, me can't tell him, me not watch when he gone. No, me not watch it. I
Yes.
don't watch it when he gone. But when him there, me watch it. So, alright,
Yes.
say, mommy love go mall, you love go beach. So no compromise, right? Make it
Mm-hmm.
work. Right, because
Yes.
if you're going to call to watch a movie, persons are not want to come if because you're the mother, you're gonna say, all right, at this we are watch every time you
Right.
want to choose the movie. Right. So learn to
Mm-hmm.
compromise. That is very important too, right?
Yes.
And also to remember that social media can never ever substitute for your family. Can
Family
never
time.
sub that's right. So rightfully that it was said to put away the gadgets, put away the phone
Yes, ma'am.
sometimes, right? And spend time and no matter follow social media and pressure mom if it's tough and pressure dad if it's tough because life is not always greener on social media. Right? Wives don't follow social media and pressure your husband, right?
Amen.
Husband, right?
Bless
No
the
Don't
one
follow
let
Lord.
me tell
social
you.
media and pressure your wife. Yeah. That's true. It
Right.
is serious. It's serious.
Husband, don't follow social media and pressure your wife. Go get steam, go do this. And
Yeah.
see a Photoshop something, yeah, look fun and all of them something there. So life is not always green on social media, right? Cherish what you have, build what you have,
Yeah.
work with what you have. And remember, family is the cornerstone of society. So we must appreciate each member is individual of the family and try our best to compromise to love and to support each other. These are my final
Yeah.
thoughts.
All right. Thank you so much, Mrs. Bailey Anderson. It was indeed another wonderful presentation, very informative, also interactive. I want to also thank everybody that joined today, this evening, and share with us this evening. God bless you all. Looking forward to seeing you all this weekend, Saturday 8:30 for another games night, and see you next week also again for another Let's Talk program. Have a blessed night, everybody. Thank you, and thank you. Sleep well. God bless you. Bye bye.
God bless you. Remember, so no not talk to me now, you must talk to no family.
Oh, Lord. Did us so viral. All right,
I am the
guys. Bye bye.
comedian in the family. I am the comedian at times in the family. So you don't have to
Okay,
get
so you're
used
the
to me.
comedian.
Sometime.
All
Good
right.
night. Good
So,
night. Good
Sister
night.
Meryl, You
Hmm?
went out last night? You went out last night?
No, I didn't, But I get a text that
Never get to go.
sister,
Come on, that.
she said Sheena fell last night.
She crossed over. She crossed
She
over.
crossed
Praise
over
God.
my
Praise
dear over in Jordan. Tell you.
Wonderful. Yesterday I
We did
had a
we didn't have
terrible
any
day.
we didn't have any terrain today because the two person that came, one of them said them head hurting and the other one said that she never prepared. So we just have regular fasting.
Okay. 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 And it is Pentecost for the entire week. We're celebrating Pentecost for the entire week.
Not to my knowledge,
Oh yeah.
I think that's why we have it. We should have it in fasting today because I think it break. But because we didn't have
Okay.
anybody to
Yeah, I
tarry with,
realized that none this evening. Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Tomorrow night Bible study,
But
and we don't.
yeah.
Mhm.
All
Okay.
right. So bye bye. Thank you for always
You have a blessed
supporting.
night. Yeah, yeah, man. You have
You
a
too.
blessed night. All right.
All right.